What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. We're now less than a month away from the start of Overwatch 2 Season 4, which means it's time to start talking about the major new content addition we'll be getting with this upcoming season, which this time is a brand new playable hero. A new hero is added to the roster every other season, and Season 4 is in fact one of those seasons. So in today's video, I want to discuss everything we actually know so far about this upcoming new hero, and then talk a little bit about not only what sort of abilities this character might actually end up having, but also who exactly this new character may end up being. So jumping right on in, there is actually some concrete information we have thus far about the upcoming Season 4 hero, first and foremost being the fact that this upcoming new hero will be a support. Now, this has been known for a very long time at this point. Even before the official launch of Overwatch 2, Blizzard outright stated that the next hero after Ramatra would be a support hero, which honestly is a pretty good thing to know because looking at the hero roster currently, yeah, the supports are a bit lacking. In fact, the next two upcoming heroes are supposedly going to be support heroes, which I think is a great decision on Blizzard's part. But beyond just knowing that the Season 4 hero will be a support, the devs have even gone on record teasing some of the abilities and mechanics of this upcoming hero, particularly this quote we have here from Overwatch 2 game director Aaron Keller, where he stated that they bring some things to the game that we haven't seen before, some new mechanics, and really exciting ways of interacting with your own team. Now, I'll be honest, this quote is very vague, and given Blizzard's track record of mega overhyping things, this could mean just about anything. For example, new mechanics could mean the hero has a burst rifle like Baptiste, except it fires in bursts of 4 shots instead of 3. Ooh, technically that's a new mechanic. But not to get too cynical about it, let's talk a bit about what exactly it could mean for the character to have new mechanics, and particularly the aspect of interacting with your own team in really exciting ways. Now, considering that it's a support hero, arguably this gives it some of the greatest amount of potential in terms of the way the hero might be able to interact with the rest of their teammates. The support heroes who already exist in the game have a ton of utility, from not only directly healing their allies, but also being able to speed boost, damage boost, cleanse them from debuffs, providing buffs to them directly. Tons of different things the hero can do. But there are a number of abilities and mechanics which theoretically could fit into the support category, which currently don't exist. For example, what if the new support hero had an ability that imbued an ally's primary fire with some sort of status effect, like fire damage in the same way as Ash's dynamite, or some sort of slowing or freezing effect like what Mei has? This would be an interesting way to apply debuffs to the enemy indirectly by basically buffing your teammate to be able to deal a debuff, which admittedly could maybe get a little out of hand when you consider all the combinations you could potentially get with various primary fires in this kind of mechanic, but would definitely be something unique and new that doesn't currently exist in the game. It could also be something as simple as making a hero on your team have unlimited ammo for a short period of time, so they never have to reload. That could certainly combo very well with certain characters' ultimates, such as Soldier 76, where he'll be able to just shoot constantly and not have to delay to reload midway through his ult. Or one mechanic which has become something of a community fan favorite is the idea of creating team-specific jump pads, which your teammates would then be able to use to more easily reach certain high ground locations. Or heck, what if the ability was even simpler than placing a jump pad? What if you could just target an ally with the ability and then they would effectively gain Baptiste's exo boots for a few seconds, allowing them to super jump up to whatever location they need? I could talk pretty extensively about different unique support team interaction mechanics that might get added in future supports, but I won't make it too extensive here in this video since I am trying to focus specifically just on the new hero in question. But needless to say, there is a lot of potential when it comes to this sort of things, especially with support heroes, given how diverse utility mechanics can often end up being. Moving on though from just abilities and mechanics and whatnot, let's talk a little bit now about who exactly this new upcoming hero might be. At the time being, we unfortunately have next to no official information from the devs or otherwise regarding the identity of this next upcoming hero, and in fact, the closest we have to evidence in this regard is a statement from one of the devs recently, where he affirmed that the Season 4 hero was cute. Now, honestly, this is about as vague as saying the new support hero will have unique new mechanics, since looking at the existing roster of heroes, the vast majority of them could be argued as being cute in some capacity or another. So saying that the next new hero is also cute, yeah, it really isn't saying much. But regardless of the statement, there's still plenty of room to speculate about who this upcoming hero will be, and at the moment, there's certainly no shortage of potential candidates, simply when it comes to characters we've already seen in some capacity. For those of you who are longtime followers of my channel, I've talked a ton over the years about different characters who we've seen through various comics, stories, and other mediums that currently aren't playable heroes, but could very well one day end up becoming playable. Known story characters like Maximilian, Sanjay, or the Mecha Pilot Overlord are all characters who myself and many others have talked about as potential upcoming candidates. And in fact, for some of these characters, I've even done my own hero concepts, theorizing what this character might look like as a playable hero on the roster. If you're interested in checking those out, I will have a card linking to my playlist of hero concept videos on screen now. But again, while I could talk pretty extensively about the massive list of characters who maybe could end up being a new hero in the game, in this video in particular, I'd like to focus on one particular candidate, or technically one pair of candidates, who I haven't really discussed much on my channel, and thus I'd like to give a bit of a spotlight. And these characters are Claudio and Hector Martins. Now, this is a pair of characters who were first seen during the launch of Overwatch 2, specifically on the push map Esperança. Not a whole ton is known yet about these two characters, other than that they're evidently part of a new faction which is called the Collective, which is also seen to be present on the Portugal map, and that they seemingly played a part in the construction of the giant seawall we can see off the edge of the map. Now, focusing on the characters themselves, Claudio Martins is evidently a Portuguese inventor, and Hector is a Venezuelan climatologist. Certainly an interesting combination of professions there, which brings to mind a number of potential applications in the realm of abilities in a game like Overwatch. But what really makes these two characters stand out as potential upcoming new hero candidates is the fact that the Overwatch devs themselves have teased that the Esperança map contains some sort of new hero teaser. In a Reddit AMA back before the launch of Overwatch 2, one of the Overwatch devs clearly stated that the new Portugal map itself has some very interesting connections to the lore and to other locations as well. There are hints of a new faction, for example, maybe even one that has ties to an unannounced hero. Now, whenever the devs speak in this sort of like, oh, maybe it has ties to an unannounced hero, that means it has ties to an unannounced hero. That's just them being dodgy and mysterious. It's pretty clear what they're trying to convey here. Now, the new faction in question is almost certainly the Collective, which I mentioned previously, and considering that Hector and Claudio Martins appear to have direct ties to the Collective, the two of them seem to be prime candidates for being the new hero mentioned by the dev. And while thus far there's been no indication that the hero teased on Esperança is in fact the upcoming Season 4 hero, it is at the very least worth considering. By no means would I say it's guaranteed that either of these characters are going to end up joining the roster this coming season, as historically there have been tons of new heroes teased in various forms, only to not be added as actual heroes for months if not years later down the line. So getting these sort of indicators that the Martins might end up being new heroes joining the roster, or at the very least associated with a new hero who joins the roster, could maybe mean they have ties to the hero coming in Season 4, or maybe not. One final note I'd like to make, though, regarding the Martins is that while either Claudio or Hector seem like they could very well end up being a future playable hero, I think whatever actual hero ends up coming about that's associated with them won't actually be either of these two people. Historically, it's pretty uncommon for Blizzard to just outright show off the face of a new hero before they add them to the playable roster. Whenever that does end up happening, it's usually either because the character in question is fundamental to the overall story of Overwatch, as was the case with Sojourn and Ramatra, or because the hero in question initially started out being a character that wasn't intended to be a playable hero, only to then later be made into one, as was the case with Junker Queen. More often than not, a new hero will be teased in various subtle, sort of like mysterious ways that don't show off who they are directly prior to their official reveal, and given what we know about the Martins, it seems more likely to me that the actual new hero we'll end up getting will either be their child, or another associate of theirs who's a part of the collective. Or, given the fact that Claudio Martins is evidently an inventor, we could even end up getting a new robot character of some kind who is one of Claudio's inventions. Here's a crackpot theory. See this little USB drive clearly visible in the portrait of the two Martins? Maybe it's a data chip containing the personality of the new robot hero. Much like how we saw Echo's personality being stored on the little chip that was planted into her body in the reunion short. Again, all just theories here on my part, and we certainly don't know what exactly it'll end up being just yet, but it is something worth keeping in mind as we go forward, regardless of whether or not these characters or the collective end up being relevant to the Season 4 hero or not. The final note, though, that I'll make when it comes to the Season 4 new hero is that, given the fact that all 4 of the new heroes we've gotten since the launch of Overwatch 2 have been characters who were previously teased in some capacity or another, I also wouldn't be surprised if the Season 4 hero ends up being someone completely brand new who we've never seen or heard of anywhere before. It's not unheard of for Blizzard to do this with new hero additions. Notably, characters like Baptiste and Sigma were characters who came basically out of nowhere, without us having any way of really anticipating who they were leading up to the teasers that actually preceded their release. So I could easily see that being the case again for this next upcoming hero. Now that we've had a bunch of big hype build-up characters that were teased for years prior to their addition in Overwatch 2, maybe Blizzard will instead this time decide to just give us someone random, just a total out of left field character that we had no way of seeing coming, but hopefully we'll still end up enjoying as a character nonetheless. Again, we won't know for sure until we actually start getting proper teasers for this upcoming hero, which I will mention, given that we're getting to the end of Season 3 and there's only a few weeks left until the start of Season 4, we're probably going to start seeing teasers for this new hero, whoever they end up being, in the not too distant future. I'd certainly keep an eye out to see what Blizzard starts posting on their social media in the weeks ahead, and who knows, maybe something in-game will even be updated to sort of tease the appearance of the new character. We'll just have to wait and see. But on that note, definitely let me know your thoughts on the upcoming Overwatch 2 Season 4 support hero by dropping a comment down below. Do you think it's going to be a character we already know from some story or comic previously, or will it be someone brand new? Also, what sort of abilities do you think this new support hero might end up having that allow them to uniquely interact with their teammates? As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.